Yes, this is still Good Morning Abuja on the Unity Station NTA Channel 5 Abuja, and I am on to my next conversation on the program. I have with me Barrister Joseph Obari, and he is an energy consultant. Together we'll be talking about the gains of subsidy removal on the economy. You're welcome to the program.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks.
welcome to Good Morning Abuja.
Good morning, Abuja.
Okay, so we're talking about the gains of subsidy removal on the economy. So we want to begin. Subsidy removal is long overdue. So what is the situation now?
The situation right now is that the government had planned to remove subsidy just in June, right? And that means that you're doing it about the first week of the new administration.
Yeah.
So the question was, how are you going to manage that? Are you going to announce it just before you step out? It's like you're setting a trap for the new administration. So the government decided to pause and let the new administration come in
first
and be able to make the decision as to when it's most suitable for them to do so. More because even at this point in time when it was mooted that it will be removed in June, there were already agitations by stakeholders who felt that proper consultations have not happened. So it was wise that the current administration paused and said, okay, let the new one come in, and then we'll be able to examine when it's most appropriate to remove it.
Oh, okay. So pricing affects demand and supply. Give us an insight.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen is that with the removal of subsidy, it means that the importation of petroleum products, particularly petrol, is going to come in land at the same price it does, but then you're going to expose it to the market at the rate of the proper rate it should be, because it's now the price is now driven by the cost by which it lands. So if you remove the subsidy, ideally is like you're supposed to buy this cup for 10 naira. I am paying 7 naira for you. You're paying only 3 naira. So now we take out the subsidy. It means you're going to pay 10,000 naira.
Wow.
So you can imagine if your money, we have always planned your life in such a way that all I can spend on this cup is something that is replaceable all the time. It's 3 naira, and then all of a sudden you're now 10 naira. So it's going to be a challenge for the average person that uses petroleum products, particularly petrol, kerosene, and so on, to be able to afford that kind of. We're already complaining that the economy is tight, and then all of a sudden the prices go up, and you're thrown into the deep ocean. So it's a challenge.
Wow.
And this is going to happen, and that's why there are agitations already.
Now already it's going to cause a lot of
hardship on people.
So is it something that it can't be avoided?
It's unavoidable. And I give an illustration. The truth is that the subsidy has become a drain on the economy, right? The idea behind subsidy is not a bad one, in that you want to cushion the effects. People have faulted the argument actually that removing subsidy benefits the poor. Some people have said not true, right? If we need the economists to give us all those details as to where it will benefit, but because there are issues of smuggling of our products because it's cheap. So people buy it cheap and smuggle it to other neighboring countries and sell at a higher price and make more gain. So why should Nigeria continue to sustain that if it's going to? There is also the issue of accountability as to how much petroleum product is actually consumed, like petrol. How many? The customs, the head of customs last time came out and lashed the NNPC Limited as to challenge them as to the real amount of petrol Nigerians consume. So there are arguments over all those kind of things,
So the AKK, that's the Abuja Kaduna Kano pipeline, was launched with fanfare. What are the deliverables?
What's the use of gas? Gas is used to power turbines, generating electricity and all those kind of things. So principally industries need them. Now, in most parts of the world, the people use gas for many things. Of course, you use cooking gas in your home. That's another grade of gas. So, but the whole economy seems to depend on running of gas. As you're building your house, gas is being piped in just like water. So they use gas. Gas utilization is very high in developed countries, very, very high, and they depend on it. In our own case, because consumption for gas has been very low, that's why you find oil companies burning the gas. And that's the reason for gas flaring, because those who should take the gas are limited. Now, this pipeline will be extending natural gas to the Kaduna and Kano. And you know that Kano used to be, it now still has some good industries and companies that run that. We need this natural gas for them to run their business. The same thing in Kaduna. So it's a very critical pipeline, and it's going to change the economic environment in those areas, because companies will come in, which may be able to generate employment for the people as well.
Okay. So recently, the Kolmani and Nasarawa oil discoveries seem to have changed the oil equation in Nigeria. How impactful is this to development? Well,
Nigeria is rich in oil. I mean, as far back as the 90s also, there had been exploration in the Chad Basin area by NNPC then. You know, they found oil there, but it wasn't in commercial quantity. So what they have done, and which the present NNPC commendable thing, is to look at all the other basins. Because its oil deposits seem to concentrate around areas where there were, in the old, maybe millions of years ago, there were water bodies, big water bodies. So as they dry, the fossils now form hydrocarbon, and they are trapped underground, and then they can be discovered. So that's why that work is being done around the Benue Trough, the Niger, around the Niger area too. And then this discovery that was done in Nasarawa. Of course, what happens if they start the exploration activities? The oil company is going to go there, the oil company is going to go there. The drilling activities is going to energize the environment. There will be suppliers of small services and all that. The company will establish its presence there. They will recruit people, even at different levels, the junior level, people will support and all that. And so that economy is going to change. But I want to give an advice. Those who are familiar with what has happened with oil in the Niger Delta will know that with oil comes other challenges, environmental challenges, social challenges in terms of the expectations of the people. I will advise the people of Nasarawa and the community to cooperate with the company, and let the company also be conscious in taking the people along so that we avoid all the frictions that have been associated with oil production in the Niger Delta.
Okay, so Nigeria is also rich in gas deposit. How can we effectively channel this?
It's unfortunate that when Nigeria discovered oil, we didn't have use for gas. Okay, like I explained to you, in other parts of the world, gas is used, piped into homes and all that. In our own case, we were looking for oil, then we found a lot of gas with it. So there's what is called associated gas, which means that you drill an oil well, when you get into the reservoir, you find oil and gas. That's associated gas. Now there are some other reservoirs you dig into and you discover pure gas. So in both ways, Nigeria has deposits that are huge. And the best way we can use them, power generation, use the utility in homes and so on. So when they are processed, and of course Nigeria needs to put its money where its mouth is, because gas is so very commercially important internationally, that the NLNG, for example, some of its the products they make, they are booked 22 years in advance. So you can imagine that. So there's the always present market for gas internationally.
So as we await the inauguration of the incoming administration, we need your final message to viewers out there as we await the incoming administration.
Well, we know that some people are not happy about the outcome of the election, and have they ventilated and they are threatening, or there have been no. But the truth is that there must be continuity, and there cannot be vacuum. And so we should all cooperate with the government and see that this new administration takes up, that we have a president eventually on May 29.
Yeah.
Let the courts decide what happens. If the courts feel that he's the wrong person, then they can make that pronouncement. Until then, he's the one that is known to be the president of Nigeria, and Nigerians need to cooperate and allow peace to reign.
Okay, thank you for coming on the program. We'll have you come again to tell us more about the subsidy removal and actually how government should actually channel towards the gas and actually to subsidize this subsidy removal that is coming on and all that. So we'll be speaking to Barrister Joe Abari. He is an energy consultant and he has told us the gains of subsidy removal on the economy. We'll go for our money saving tips, and after that the program continues.